Kind of get a rundown of, you know what I'm saying, where you came from, how long you been in Austin, you know what I'm saying, who you are as an artist, that type thing.
Yeah. I've been in Austin about 13 years. I'm a graph head, beat maker, crate digger. Been around hip hop head for a long time, just doing my thing.
Word. And how long, I mean, where'd you come from? You said you've been here 13 years?
Yeah, I came from Colorado.
Okay. So how much music do you have out?
Repping Boulder.
Boulder?
Yeah.
Not Denver, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so how much music do you have out?
I got a good amount. I got out. I'm about to drop a full album. Don't know when that's going to come out. I got like 4 videos out. I got about 400 songs recorded on the back burner.
Wow.
I record almost every day. Of course, some of those are the same song, the same verses over different beats, but got 400 or more.
Okay. What albums do you have out? Do you have albums or mixtapes out, or do you just have a big catalog of music that you
I just got a big catalog that hasn't dropped yet.
Oh, that's cool. Do you really plan on dropping albums? Because myself, I've kind of gotten away from the practice of just dropping a quote-unquote traditional album.
Yeah, that's why I haven't actually dropped the album yet, because like I originally had this one album set to drop, and then I'm just getting more play off of doing singles and doing videos.
Do you find it more cost-effective to just drop one song
I think it's more I don't know yet, but I mean, really what I'm getting so far is more internet attention than...
And it kind of gives people a chance to concentrate on that song as opposed to listening to that song and maybe going to pass to get to the next song.
Well, nowadays I'm not really sure where the music industry's at, so I feel like people aren't really even checking albums like we used to. They're not buying albums. I'm not even sure if they're listening to songs over again, unless it's something that really. I'm not really sure about the youth of today. The youth of today seems like they're just like they need the next thing. They need the next thing. They're not listening to songs over and over and again, which is a little bit difficult with my music because I tend to throw a lot of double meanings in there. I throw a lot of, I'm the kind of cat that when I listen to hip hop, I always liked, like I've been listening to a song for like 10 years and then I'm like, oh shit, now I know what he's talking about. It just pops with me all of a sudden. And I like to throw those real double meanings in there, throw those Easter eggs in there, and get people thinking about what's being said, not just
hearing it.
You
touched on a little bit of what your style is, but if you could compact an answer of Edgar Wyndham, the style, the aesthetic, the feel, how would you do that as far as your approach to music?
Well, I'd say it's classic hip hop with punk rock influence because I'm actually a punk rock kid. I grew up in an era where like punk rock and hip hop were actually much closer coinciding, and so I grew up with skater kids. We grew up listening to punk rock, grew up listening to hip hop, and so I get a lot of that mixed together. So just kind of my outlook on stuff is more revolutionary in that sense. I always liked revolutionary rappers. I always liked P.E., Rakim, people that had something to say, people that wanted me to go out and look for books to listen to or to read, like, got me checking for certain thinkers, things like that. I tend to gear towards people of similar age to me. Plus, I think there's always going to be a component. I don't know if I can really read the youth well enough nowadays to say, but there's always going to be a defiant group of people out there who don't want to be like the sheep, don't want to be like what the radio is pushing down their throat. And it's a lot harder nowadays because I think that, it really is, even with the internet, it's more pervasive, this mass thinking. And so everybody is really thinking like the masses, but I guarantee there's a number of people out there who really just don't want to fit in with what the mass thinking is, and they've got to really want to explore something a little bit more defiant.
I think that's that punk rock influence that you're talking about. About the obvious, the mask.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
The mask comes from Edgar Wyndham, kind of a comic book background. You know, I come from being influenced by MCs that took on a comic book influence. If you look at people like Ghostface, he would go by Tony Starks. You look at like Method Man, he would go by Johnny Blaze. People don't often even recognize that's a comic book influence. Obviously, MF Doom, reference to Doctor Doom. There's a number of people out there that use the mask as sort of reference towards underground thinking, towards you know, keeping it defiant, keeping your image hidden from.
What's the latest? You know what I'm saying? What are you working on currently? What are you going, or what should we be looking for next from you? And
I'm about to be dropping. I'm just constantly dropping new videos. About to drop a new freestyle type video. I'm going to try to do more of a series on freestyle type videos. I got just cuts coming out. I got stuff off of what was the album. I'm dropping singles constantly, basically.
Okay. All right. So